What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Well, you guys probably have seen it by now. There are video after video talking about Jillian Michaels and what she had to say about the ketogenic diet. And I was first tagged in the video. It was actually on Instagram, I think it was. Was it Instagram or Facebook? Where it was like a Jillian Michaels post. And it was like basically asking her what she thought about the ketogenic diet. And she went on to, I don't want to say blast it, but she wanted to give her opinion on, and it is an opinion, okay, plain and simple, because if you went to brass tacks about scientific studies and data and stuff, there's data to support as well as not support keto. There's data that supports high carb as well as not support. Like, you can find data to support either one. So therefore, it comes down to her opinion, okay? Now, I saw a couple response videos, and they were just like attacking her, like going after her and stuff. And that's not kind of my style right now with this thing. I think that we're going to put this in a little bit of perspective again. I'm getting outside that little box. I'm going to talk to you guys from outside the box. Now, inside the box, basically either Jillian Michaels is a jerk, she's evil, she doesn't understand. Also inside that box is she's brilliant, she's telling the truth, keto sucks. All of that is inside the box. What is outside of the box is what we're going to talk about right now. And I think that Jillian Michaels, right now, with the way she feels about it, you could tell that, like in the video, she's just kind of very passionate about how she doesn't like the ketogenic diet. Now, here's the thing. Myself, 27 years in gym training people, okay? Thousands of clients throughout the years, sorry. Now, Jillian Michael has been doing this longer than I have, I think. Maybe I don't know, but I think she's older than I am. She's been doing it more than I have and worked with and trained more people than I have. Now, I don't know much about her individual one-on-one consults and stuff like that, but Jillian Michaels, in essence, works for the general population. She works for the general collective consciousness is what's happening right now, okay? Which means she's on TV, she's, you know, an authority figure to the general public, to people that don't really know or understand much stuff about dieting. So being that, she has to have a certain reputation in order to keep herself growing or even stay in the position she's in, as far as being that famous guru, know-it-all, diet expert, whatever you want to, exercise expert, whatever you want to call it, right? So for her to do that, she has to kind of touch upon whatever's going to get to the biggest crowd in general. And the biggest crowd in general, I'm sorry, is not going to want to eat a high-fat, moderate-protein, low-carb diet. They're just not. Okay, so therefore, if she starts talking about how great this diet is and how well it works, and people go, oh, Jillian said that diet, and she's amazing, she's the smart one, she's the best. And they go try it, and they're like, this diet sucks. Like, Jillian Michaels is awful. The ketogenic diet is a lot harder than the IIFYM, which is what Jillian promotes. She promotes stuff like eating, fruits and vegetables and everything that you would normally eat on a diet. But she also recommends having your treats. I hate that fucking word because we're not dogs. We don't deserve treats and shit like that. But that's what the general public wants to hear. Eat fruit, eat candy bars, as long as they fit your macros. Eat everything. Never give up the foods that you don't want. That's what the general public wants to hear. Now, the problem that I have with that is that Jillian Michaels is not necessarily being 100% truthful. Because if she has been doing what she's doing long enough, like I have, and if she's been doing it, she's probably had 25 to 30, maybe 100 times more clients than I've had throughout the years, then she knows that there are different ways that different people respond to different things. But being very individual with it will take her out of the general public's eye. She has to get very nitpicky and very specific and work with people one-on-one. And technically, she would make less money and she wouldn't have the contracts and be the face of fitness or whatever it is right now if she was doing the one-on-ones solely and not doing the general population, DVDs, diet books, all this shit like this, right? So here is one instance that Jillian Michaels should have known better. And that is that nowadays we have a man-made disease that runs rampant. It fucking affects so many, it's most of the population at this point, which is crazy. I think it was something like 60% or something like that. By the time they were 45, had type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is not necessarily genetic. Some people, genetic, but there's many people that have zero genetic predisposition in their families whatsoever. They still become type 2 diabetics because of the way that they eat. And most of the time, the way that they eat are high refined sugars, processed foods, high fat, very low protein with not much exercise. That's the way the average person eats. Now, a person like this that would come to Jillian and say, I want to revamp my life, I want to do this, I want to do that, and she starts feeding these carbohydrates, their bodies are not responding because technically they can't do this. Their body doesn't utilize blood sugar properly. It can't utilize carbohydrates and digest them properly. All these things are going on. They're on this medication. They're on that medication. Here's the deal. That instance, and there's many of them out there. Matter of fact, I'd say at least half the people that come to me have some kind of carbohydrate sensitivity due to the fact they fuck themselves up eating absolutely poorly. And it wouldn't necessarily be just the types of foods. It's the amounts of foods also. They're shoving so much food in their body that their bodies are secreting so much insulin over time that they're becoming desensitized to the insulin. They're no longer insulin sensitive. Therefore, now they are technically carbohydrate sensitive. This is what we call carbohydrate sensitive, when your body doesn't utilize carbohydrates, aka glycogen, properly. And now we have this case, and this is a lot of people. So this is why a lot of people fail at these diets and don't take into account that they could be carb sensitive. There are absolutely signs that a person is carb sensitive, and one of those signs is the fact that they eat these carbohydrates and they don't feel good on them, right? There's a lot of people that start diets that don't feel good. Here's the deal. I have seen people that were not just sensitive to carbohydrates, but their body literally was completely chaotic from them actually eating carbohydrates. Their body could not utilize them. So they decided to do a low carb diet, which was like 100 grams, 120 grams, low carb, 85, 75 grams. Even that was too many carbohydrates in order for the body to actually just be able to function efficiently, properly every single day. When you take them and drop them into ketosis, literally cut out all those carbs, 30 grams of carbs from fiber-only green veggies, lo and behold, in a couple of days, they feel fantastic. They have energy back. They can go work out. They're not foggy anymore in the brain. Once they get in a state of ketosis, they feel absolutely fantastic. Now, is keto for everybody? No, it's not for everybody, but is it for you? It could be. What blows my mind is Jillian Michaels would stay on there and tear up a diet and say how bad it was and not even remotely think, well, it could be for you. You may need to do this, right? She won't say that, but we have drug companies on TV that there's not even anything wrong with you. And they promote the drugs and say, ask your doctor if this is right for you. But you can't even go ask Jillian Michaels if keto's right for you and she loses her shit. Like, that makes no sense. Everybody is different. And there are going to be people that need to do a keto diet just to respond. They're not going to be happy with what's going on with a high carb diet, a carb cycling diet, a moderate carb diet, a low carb diet. They're not going to see what they see unless they're in keto. Again, it's not for everybody, but it is for some people. Many people do the keto diet wrong. This is another problem where people like Jillian Michaels would have plenty of ammunition to fire back, because ketogenic diet, I feel like in the last 5 years, even 2 years, even last year, has come so far than it was 25 years ago when Atkins was involving and all these types of different things. It was like the cycle ketogenic diet, Mauro Di Pasquale's, the metabolic diet, the body opus diet, the ultimate diet 2.0. We had all these different types of renditions of the ketogenic diet. But to say that the ketogenic diet is not a good lifestyle choice, that it does not produce results, that it's not long-term effective, would be a flat-out lie. That is irresponsible for Jillian Michaels to be promoting anything other than the fact that she is a fitness expert, right? A guru, an expert in the entire world, that everyone is different, and cookie cutters don't necessarily mean it's going to work for you when it worked for someone else. But the problem is, Jillian Michaels only sells cookie cutters. She only sells the programs that are out there. Well, maybe she does online training, maybe she does personal training, but that's not the same thing as what she's giving everybody out there. So everything has to fit the general collective conscious. It has to fit, or Jillian Michaels is out of business. She's no longer a guru. It is a position she has put herself in to where she is no longer in control of who she is. She now has to be something that is not real. Saying the ketogenic diet is not applicable, it's not good, you shouldn't use it, is not a real statement. But she has to say that, because now if she doesn't say that and says that it is possibly good for some people, they're going to go, well, Jillian, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you have your clients on it? Why don't you have a diet book out about it? Blah, 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 blah. They're going to give her shit. She's going to lose some of her reputation and the fact that she's not such a diet guru. But that's the whole thing. Jillian Michaels is marketing. Jillian Michaels is not smarter or better than any one of these other people that we know that are out there talking about diets and helping people. She's no better or worse than Richard Simmons. She's no better or worse than anyone else. But as soon as you realize she's no better than anyone else out there, now she loses that top of the mountain, that status, that guru queen that she became. She starts to lose that. Why? Because people start realizing she's not a know-it-all. She's not as good as she thinks she is, as they think she is. She's not as good as they meaning the company that represents her, has built her up to believe, for you to believe that she is. There are people out there that are much more in depth with individual metabolism, and people, specifically individuals that come to them that literally are focusing only on them rather than a large group of people. How would you feel if Jillian said, I'm going to take care of 50,000 people, and this one over here, sorry, you don't count because I got to take care of the 50,000 people? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. If you're carb sensitive, if you have a problem with carbohydrates, you feel like you need the keto diet, you turn to Jillian Michaels, she tells you no, 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 no. You go back and try her other shit, it's not working, you have been left out. That means the people that she is talking to, you are not included in those, therefore you don't count. In that case, look up the ketogenic diet. Do as much studying as you can. If you got any questions, shoot me an email. I'll answer the damn questions. If you go here literally in Google search, where am I? Search here, search there, search up, I think. Bioessery training, keto, you will get plenty of information that you can then use those videos and that information to get more information and research on your own to learn about something that might be right for you. And now I sound like one of those commercials that might be. Ask your doctor if the ketogenic diet is right for you. But the bottom line is, you may be missing out on something based on the fact that you don't fit the criteria of who Jillian Michaels is trying to produce commercials for and sell products to. Therefore, you don't count and get left behind. Those days are over. BioStrength@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com is the blog. It's You Are Not Alone and Not Left Behind Bicep, and we are out.